Welcome back to Boxing on Rap. I'm your host, Eminem the Artist. This is sort of something that's making the rounds for me and in my timeline, right? So Shakur Stevenson made a comment about who his toughest fight would be at 140.
What order of difficulty would you rate these guys for you? All right, Gervonta Davis, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, and Subriel Matías.
I probably would say Sabriel Matias #1 maybe. Then Tank. Then T.O. Then Ryan.
Wow, so you got Subriel. You think Subriel would be for me personally? I think Subriel would probably be maybe the least out of all of them. Not that I'm saying he's not a good fighter, but based on styles and the kind of guys that I've seen you in.
So tell me why Shakur, why you feel that way? Tell you why you feel that way.
Because with Tank, it's more so gonna be an IQ battle and like a thinking, like a chess match. And with Sabriel Matias, he don't give you no breathing room.
Now listen, I'm a natural born Puerto Rican. I was born there, raised partially there. He's my guy, right? From the 90s when I was raised up and into boxing and watching boxing. And so I hold his legend close to my heart, right? So anytime there's a new Puerto Rican boxer that they're saying, oh, it's the guy, I tend to hold him to a really high standard. Now, having said all that, it's interesting that Shakur Stevenson said that because right now the 135 division is very packed with the champions up top. Navarrete about to be fighting for the title. So if he wins, that'll be a stack champion top tier, right? And if they start fighting each other, it could be a couple years before anyone moves up anywhere or moves down, whatever they want to do. But it's making me believe a little bit more of the what people are saying about Subriel Matías being this guy, being the guy, right? The boogeyman. Because there's just been a lot of things happening since the Paro fight got announced, right? So the Paro fight came, and they were like, well, Paro's not a walkover, supposedly, right? He's a really tough guy that we just don't know about. So it made me start thinking, well, if that's the case for Paro, then that could be the case for the fighters that Subriel has been stopping and manhandling, right? So, listen, Subriel lost to a guy nobody knew. That's just facts, right? I mean, hardcore maybe known him, but I will be honest with you, I never heard of the guy, and then all of a sudden he loses to that fighter, and then but he comes back and he destroys the guy, he dismantles the guy, right? So that's what he was supposed to do, but maybe he shouldn't have lost in the first place. Could have been motivation, I don't know. We've seen Teofimo Lopez not fight up to his standard sometimes. Maybe it's because of the competition he's facing. It doesn't take him serious, right? Same thing could be said about Subriel in that fight. Ever since then, unfortunately, he has put a guy on the ground, and that happens with boxing or combat sports. But he has power. We know that he has good inside game. And listen, I'm thinking Shakur knows his own weakness that we've been saying the whole time. Where if there's a power puncher coming towards him, he's gonna get on his bicycle, right? He doesn't like to stand in and trade. Now, Subriel is the type of guy that if you don't have the power to make him what it seems like to me that makes him respect you, he's gonna come forward. And if he comes forward, he's gonna dig to that body and just rip up the middle, right? And Shakur Stevenson knows it about himself. He doesn't want to stand in the pocket, right? So him saying that's the hardest fight for me, these three guys might be saying a lot because say what you say about Shakur, he's elite, right? As of right now, he's elite. Could be proven later on. Maybe something happens, or we say, oh, maybe he wasn't that guy. Sort of like what happened with Devin Haney, and I'll stand on that. We haven't seen the flaws we've seen with Devin Haney before the loss in Shakur Stevenson. Now, does he get on his bicycle with the punchers? Yes, he does. Does he stand in the pocket with guys he doesn't respect? Yes, he does. So if you were to fight Subriel Matías, the train of thought is he doesn't want to get that smoke up in the inside, so he's going to try to stay on the outside. And that's going to be very difficult because if he can't get the respect from Subriel to make him stay on the outside, then that means that Subriel is going to work right through him and pin him and then start digging to the body and ripping up the middle, right? And it could be an interesting fight. And Subriel looks like he's a naturally bigger guy, although Shakur is starting to fill out. He's looking like he's a little bit big for 135. But I don't foresee that fight happening anytime soon. Like I said, that 135 division is stacked. So we're going to have to wait on Subriel getting a shot from one of the champions at 140. And given the recent events, if he whitewashes Paro, we can't take away from Paro now because now Eddie Hearn and a lot of the other guys have come up and said Paro is not that big of a walkover. So if he washes Paro, then we're going to have to start thinking, okay, hold on. Let's see what's going on here. And I would suspect that less and less champions would be chomping at the bit to go get, Subriel, which I maintain Subriel should maybe carry him a little bit if he feels like he can beat him because maybe knocking him out early might, it could work both ways, right? It could make the man or it could throw people away. Like this guy's still not known, but Washington Paro maybe puts him on the map. So it's a weird situation. But it was interesting to see that byline when I read that. 1, 2, and 3. Matias being number 1 as his hardest fight. What do you think? Do you think that is going to be his hardest fight? Do you think that it'll even happen at any time soon in a couple years? In a couple years, I think Matias might be a little too old. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below. And I just found this interesting. I thought I'd talk about it a little bit and give you a little insight on why I think Subriel. I don't hold Subriel on that level yet, but I'm starting to get there. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below. See you in the next time, and I'm out. Peace.